Theoretically, we're live in 15 seconds from now. We should be able to see it on the screen.
Well, we're already
Hey, Lex
live.
is in the chat. I didn't know Lex was here. That's pretty cool, man. I like that. We've got 9 people waiting. That's pretty cool.
Nice. I think we're good to go.
Yeah, it's just important that the 9 people in the live chat, please don't all speak at the same time because it's going to be too many voices. It's going to be hard to hear. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're live. Nice. Okay, awesome. Welcome, everybody. My name is Hat, and these are my 2 partners, Eyebrows and Beard. Actually, my name is Matt. There's Mark right here, and there's Brendan, and it's nice to be here. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
We are the bridge
Great.
builders. We haven't built any actual bridges yet, but we're working our way towards that. But you have come to the right place if you want to see some different page builders and people trying to build websites with them. Mark, do you want to catch us up on a little bit on, Jesus, I'm not a native speaker, on what this is about?
For sure, yeah. If any of you guys are just joining us for the very first time, I believe this is episode 6. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
That's right.
6. That's what it says in the Facebook chat. So, yeah, we've had a lot of really good episodes so far. If you go to bridgebuilders.live, it'll redirect you to the playlist. You can see all the previous ones. But effectively, what we're trying to do, we tell the story all the time, is Maddie came to me almost a year ago. Honestly, I feel like at this point,
It's true,
with the
yeah.
idea of, there's a lot of different opinions, a lot of different tools in the WordPress ecosystem and beyond, web design in general. And we just really wanted to explore them in like a kind of a productive fashion. So we decided to start asking people that use different tools to come on our show and just kind of like build the same thing, just kind of see how it works in different builders and different tools. Not long after that, Brendan joined our trusty crew here, and we've been exploring ever since. So today we got a really good episode. You want to announce our guests and our builders?
Yeah, well, first of all, let us know in the comments or in the chat where you guys watching from. Would be really interesting to know. And if you like this, leave a like. You can leave it towards the end, we don't mind. But if you leave it now, that's perfect. And yeah, so we could start out with the builders. So it's going to be Greenshift and Divi. We discussed briefly if we wanted to have Elementor on, but as you can plainly see, Mark lost that argument. So
To do a live stream. Did a live stream about Elementor. They came and they beat me up. I'm just kidding. But
yeah,
it's a
pretty much.
hockey accident. But yes, little banged up still. But there's rumors it was Elementor, but I can't confirm or deny. So
And we have Lex van Dommelen and Josiah Hostetter here, who are in the lobby and waiting to go. Yeah, you know what? Before we bring them on, let's talk about the promo links because that's so exciting because it's going to make us stinking rich. So the tools we're using is bridgebuilders.live/Greenshift. You get if you use the code bridgebuilders, you get a little bit of money off. I think it's 30% for Greenshift for the builder, and then for Divi, for the other builder, we're going to use a tool called Divi Machine, which adds extra functionality to Divi. And again, with the same code Bridge Builders, you're going to get 15% off. They have an LTD, so that's definitely worth it. So bear that in mind. The codes are also in the description below. And I think if I don't forget, I'm going to bring them back on later again in the stream. So let's meet Josiah and Lex. Hello, guys.
Hello, everybody. How are you
Thank
doing?
you so much for coming on. Great to have you.
Great to have me as well.
Yeah, great to be here, guys.
Welcome.
guys.
So you are in Tempe and I want to say Amsterdam?
The Netherlands, Eindhoven. It's the southern part of the Netherlands, a very small town. So
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
yeah,
Do you want to say a few words about yourselves? Lex, do you want to start?
yeah. I'm Lex, and you can find me at Techies Reviews on YouTube. And I've been doing live streams for WordPress and building websites. And since this week, I'm a professional WordPress specialist. So I'm very happy and excited for that one.
Nice.
Also very tired because, yeah, a lot of things learning. Never worked in an agency before, was a UX designer before, and now working in an agency is a different kind of synergy you need to have. So very nice and good experience, actually.
Congrats on the new position. Are you
you.
still remote?
What do you mean remote?
Do you work remotely still, or do you go into an office?
No, yeah, the first month they want me to come in, and I think it's also very good to get a little bit of feeling how the agency works and get to know the people, because there are a lot of people there. So yeah,
That's dope.
Congratulations. And also congratulations on crossing 1,000 subscribers the other day. That's awesome.
thanks.
yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I almost forgot, happy belated birthday to Mark.
Ah, shucks. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Big 2-9. Yeah, I'm getting old.
Oh, yeah.
2-9.
You just got to round up now. You're 30.
Yeah. It's over. It's all downhill. Awesome.
Josiah, you're in Tempe.
Yeah, I'm Josiah Hostetter, and I'm in the United States in the Phoenix area, in Arizona. And I've been working with WordPress for about 10, 11 years. Yeah, I love it, and it's great to be a part of the community. There's a lot of people here in the Phoenix area that are part of the WordPress community. It's fun to, get to see everybody, and hope some of them are joining in on the stream. So yeah, I have a little micro agency, solopreneur, Greenshot Digital. You can check me out at greenshotdigital.com. I work with a lot of small businesses and other local agencies. Kind of the developer for a lot of different builders and agencies. So I get to work with all types of different builders, like Elementor. Divi is definitely one of my favorites. So that's why I'm going to be showcasing that today. I'm excited to show you guys some cool stuff with it.
Sweet. We're happy to have you.
Green cha, is that like green tea?
Yeah, that's the Chinese word for tea.
Cool. Nice. I didn't know that.
Sweet. Awesome.
Do you have some kind of Chinese background?
I lived in China for almost 5 years. So I'm conversational in Mandarin. Yeah.
Nice. Sweet. Should we check out what we're building today, Maddie?
I think we should. All right, let's bring it on. So I'm going to say it very slowly so everybody in the audience can type it into their into their browsers. It's called fachübersetzungsdienst.com. So no problem, right? No problem at all. I'm going to put this in the chat. And so this is a translation website, a German one, and we decided we are going to rebuild the intro thingamabob, so the header, not the header, hero. Okay, so the hero, then this intro thing, then we're going to skip this, it doesn't matter. We're going to do this with the nice icons here, logos, and then this really professionally done parallax section. And if we get time, we're also going to build these nice bars here. In addition, this is the first for us, but we're going to build a section that's not actually here. I want to see a quick testimonials section just added to this website. So let's just pretend this isn't a testimonial section already. We're going to add an extra testimonial section with a bunch of cards, or it's up to Josiah and Lex how they want to build this and how they want to design this, but we want to see something added to the website that it goes on top of that. And it also is going to give us the opportunity to see how the two builders handle query loops and CPTs, dynamic data. So that's what we got. And I believe it was Lex who wanted to go first, right?
Yeah, let me go first.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
He's excited. He's excited.
Yeah, very excited. So it's a very nice looking website.
Ready to share your screen?
Yeah, I'm ready to share my screen.
Cool. So let me unshare mine. Make
I don't know if it's useful, but I mean, if you're able to just say a couple words just about Greenshift as
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
plugin,
sure.
as a theme, however you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I can explain a little bit about Greenshift. Let's see. Here's a little bit of promotion, of course. So Greenshift is a page builder and has a lot of going for it. You have a free version and a paid version, and the paid version is the one that we are going to look into right now. It has a all-in-one lifetime deal, and as you can see, if you click the lifetime, then you can have an unlimited version for $3.99. And what do you get for that? You get a design and SEO plugin, so you can create some nice animations that's in there. There's also a query loop in there, as you can see on the left-hand side. Maybe I need to zoom in just a little bit. Usually during my live stream, I have to do that as well. And this basically allows you to create listings and query your testimonials and that we're going to create and the other dynamic data that we have. You also can add animations in there. It's using GSAP in the backend, but know that the free version also have motion.dev in there, which is a new and upcoming animation tool. It's like a JavaScript package that you can install. It's very lightweight, very fast. Also, there's in the free version a way of doing the CSS animations in there. So Igor is very fast in implementing new tools and new things in Greenshift. It's crazy how fast he is in adding features. For me as a hobbyist, it was very, very tedious to keep up with all the things that that he has added through the time. There's also a chart add-on, which allows you to create charts, and a WooCommerce add-on. Let's see, you also get a ACPT license and a Figma converter. And this one is still in development, but there's a beta version, I don't know how you pronounce it, available. And it allows you to convert the Figma file to a Greenshift tool. And as I said, it is a page builder, so you can drag and drop everything in. It's specifically for Gutenberg, and then using full site editing as well.
That's a pretty sweet offer, honestly. Like for $3.99, all that stuff, you get ACPT. Nice, man. So do you get one? So you pay $3.99 and you get one ACPT license, or
yeah, okay. Just one license for one site,
right?
For development purposes. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
I think the license is limited to a certain duration, though, right?
Yeah, that's also something that I saw yesterday, but I haven't conferred with the maker, which is a nice segue to his Facebook group. One of the person that's very involved with Greenshift is called Igor, and he's so active in this Facebook group. Every time somebody has an issue, he just comes in and says, all right, this is how you're supposed to fix it. And really tries to listen to everybody that's saying something about Greenshift that needs to be improved or needs to be changed. He is also very critical. So he can also ask questions. Why do you want that? Do we really need it? So yeah, it's a very nice experience to have one of the main faces of Greenshift being very active and then including changes if needed in Greenshift. So I can ask him at a certain point if ACPT is indeed for the 4 month, if I recall correctly, or if it's really for unlimited time usage. So I will verify that and leave it in the description down below after this live stream, I guess.
I'm in that group too, and he's extremely active, and he puts out features so fast, and he seems to also be his own support. So I don't know how he sleeps, but he's building something crazy there.
It's yeah, for sure. It's insane. It's the same with Maxime, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a plugin for the query builder, for the page builder aspect, but then there's also a theme. Are you going to be using their theme as well, or
Yeah.
do you use different themes with it?
You have one theme that works very good with Greenshift, and that's called Blocksy. I won't be using that because I don't have a license for it. Let's see. There we go. Is this one? I will leave a link in the description as well and in the comments. And this allows you to have create starter templates. I do have a client that wants to use Blocksy because you just have templates already available, and then you install it, and they're actually rather good looking, if you ask me. Look at this beautiful template.
Yeah.
Look at this beautiful bike. I'm a Dutch guy. I love bikes, so. So yeah, and they have updates regularly, so they work together very well, very well actually. But today we'll be using the Greenshift theme. I see that I haven't installed it, so let's do that first. Greenshift, because just like my own live
theme
streams,
is just available from the repo.
Your repo.
yeah,
No cost.
yeah,
So the thing you pay for is only the plugin.
yeah,
And it's an FSE theme, but it also has, okay, this is what I was going to hope we see, so go ahead.
it's
Which I love that they have a free version of the plugin that you can do a lot of stuff with as well.
Right.
Yeah, and that's actually also the very insane part, the free stuff, and that I mean, the only thing that is missing is actually the query and meta. But basically, you don't need the animation because there's already an animation library available that is called motion.dev. It's kind of tedious. It's more developer focused, if you ask me, because you need to understand and know how this works. It has JavaScript, and what Igor has done, or the Greenshift team, I could say, they have taken the basics of motion.dev and added most of the things in there, and that you only need to fill in fields and forms to get the animation going. But it also has scroll animations, like this section on the left-hand side that we see right now. That's also available as an option that you can recreate in the free version. So yeah, I wonder how this will be skewed by using the animation, advanced animation add-on. But this is way easier because it uses GSAP under the hood.
It does look like it's quite modular. You get the main Greenshift plugin, and then whatever additional functionality you want, you add more plugins to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you want. So the basic one is very basic. We can show it, and then you can see the difference.
Gotcha.
So let's see. Let's add a new page. And if we open up, so this is everything that you have from Greenshift, and this is then the green light version. So
Nice.
and that's a little bit maybe confusing. You have green light and you have Greenshift layout blocks.
Okay.
The Greenshift layout blocks are meant to be more user friendly. And what do I mean by that? I can show it very well in the grid builder, because you start with a CSS grid. You can already say, all right, this is the amount of columns I would like to have. And if we do something similar, as you can see, for the green light elements, there isn't a grid, CSS grid available. So if we drag a section in, it's just a section. You can select tags here, so it's more intuitive for people that know what they're doing inside of in building websites. A very nice thing. This may look familiar if you're using advanced Steamer in Bricks Builder, for example. You can just create your own, what's it called? Bent grid.
Bento grid, yeah.
And there we go.
That is convenient.
Yeah.
And then you can redo the grid for different breakpoints.
Yep, you can do it for different breakpoints as well. Let's see. Automatically it isn't, but then you need to change it here, and then it's fixed.
Okay. So did you just, while we were watching, already prepare the two sections you need here for the actual build? Is that what we just saw?
This was just
Sneakily.
sneaky try to. I'm not that sneaky. I want to be fair, right? Also for Josiah, but this is just showing off the free version.
Okay.
So what are you missing here? Let me show you as well, right? If we want to use a query block, for instance, we need to use the Gutenberg query block. And that has some basic things happening, but not everything is in there. So you can also do some query looping, and you can, let's see, you can select which post type you want in there. But yeah, there's a lot of nice settings missing. And that's where the query loop builder add-on comes in very clutch, because it's way better than the native Gutenberg, to be honest. And also you have some animations still. Let's see where I can find them. Here you have the animations, but you don't have access to the G-Shape animation library. So what you can do is use all kinds of preset animations like fade and that sort of things. And the rest of the animations is hidden in the interaction layers. And then you can also do all kinds of funky things in there. Yeah, I would suggest, if you are very interested in Greenshift and want to see full potential, please first try out the free version before you buy it, to see how complex and what you can do with it, because it's a lot, and it's so awesome that the developer is integrating everything so quickly. Not to be confused with quickly, because this is called Greenshift, by the way.
How old is Greenshift? When did
Too
it
soon.
first appear?
Oh, sorry. What do you want to ask?
How old is it? When did it first appear?
Oh, that's a very good question. For me, it is like 3 years ago.
3 years, give or take.
Yeah. Yeah, give or take. It started out, if I remember correctly, on Code Canyon, by the way.
Okay.
They have a very famous theme if you are inside of the Fiat marketing kind of thing, and the theme is called Rehab. Rehab theme. Yeah, you don't then need to look in code, but look in the themes. And here we see the Rehab theme for $59. And yeah, this started out as creating a very flexible website. You also see some templates that are already fitable for Greenshift right now. And this was, if I remember correctly, the first version of some kind of Gutenberg builder. It's called GutenCon. And later on, the same things transferred over to Greenshift.
Right. I'm going to jump in there. Let's start building, should we?
Yeah.
Or you, not we.
Yeah, go ahead. Start building. Could you fire it up? No.
Go nuts.
Go nuts.
Show us the magic.
Magic. So usually the first thing that I do is take this to Figma and try to draw out what kind of pieces needs to go in there. You know the box model, of course. So we have a title here and a subtitle here and a button here. And I don't have the image right now, so we need to see if we can find a quick image on Unsplash. I haven't prepared that one, so I'm very sorry. So let's take this. I'm a techie guy, right?
Just
That's
any
why
picture.
I'm Kyle Techies Reviews, right? But could you repeat that, please?
Just any picture, it doesn't matter.
Any picture. And then we go in here. So the nice thing about Gutenberg is that you can do inline things adding there, right? You can type / or you can press the plus icon to add things in there. So let's see. And there we have actually our hero section almost, right? Then there are two ways you can set the styling. I like to use the green light styles because there's no predefined or opinionated classes added, which is the case when we're using the Greenshift layout blocks. So that's why I like to use that one. And in here we can select our image and then open up the library, select our files. Let's see that oh, it's too big. Let's see. I don't know which the image this is. I hope this isn't a private one. Let's see. Look at that. That's a beautiful image, right? then I am already done with the first 2 sections, I guess. If I set
Yeah,
the
easy.
height.
But
Yeah.
you just mentioned, like, you're going into Figma as well, like.
Usually I try to break down what's on the page
Right.
to see what's in there. I can also do it very fast in my head, but I'm trying to teach these kinds of things nowadays. I don't know if you have seen my live streams, but I try to teach how you can deconstruct what's on the page, so people know what you actually should do. So I'm teaching myself so I can teach others better. Let's see. We can change the size. Let's say what would be the size of this one? Looks like it's 100 view height, so we can type in 100 view height. Now, don't mind the image.
And you're able to just type VH in there, right?
Yeah.
Or was there? Okay, that's really cool. You get to just select any unit.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Maybe
can
you could just put a background color for now instead of image.
Yeah, just make it dark.
Is this a little bit confusing? Yeah, a good one.
Might be.
Might be.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
So we can.
I mean, while you're working on this, I can just get you the actual image.
Let's see. Remove that one, and then in here we need to have. I guess the first one is a heading, right? So professional.
If you're able to build while we ask you questions, let me know if it's distracting. But are the green light elements the basically just stripped out of all styling? They're just sort of HTML elements that you're putting on.
Yeah, they're basically HTML elements indeed, just like you're used to if you're using Bricks Builder.
Yeah, I've used that a couple times.
So if you want, you can go on our Facebook conversation, and then you can get the image there.
All right. Let's see. Let me grab that real quick. There we go. Save image. And then upload the image.
I'm already impressed with the UI of Greenshift. I mean, they really did a lot of stuff on the sidebar that's like way different than core Gutenberg. Feels like generate blocks, generate press a little bit, just from what I've seen. So that's kind of cool. I like these curated experiences make this seemingly a lot more bearable.
That's what I was gonna say. It seems like they put some thought into it, and
Yeah.
it's more intuitive than Gutenberg.
Yeah.
Especially if you're used to developing these kind of things in a more native way to what's called to HTML and CSS.
Yeah. Definitely.
P element. Let's see, there we go. P element, and then we have a little bit of text. Certified. This is a animated run, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can do that
Yeah,
as
but
well.
never mind the animation for now. I mean, if you want to, if we can make the animation happen, in hour 4, then we can do that. But for now, let's not waste time on it.
All right. Now, what I want to do is create also, because the contrast isn't very high, so we need to change that. So I will add a after for this. You can do it like this in the custom CSS, but there's also a way of adding a selector in here. So you can add a class, and then when you select that, you have a sub-selector. There are predefined ones, and you can also add any classes, styling of selectors, whatever you would like to. Let's add a after. And in that after, we want the position. Now, this is the only thing that already always messes me up, because I need to find which icon is for which one. The tooltip is just a little bit too slow for my taste, but I don't know if you can change that as a developer. But
I'm with you on that. And there's so many little buttons, like they're just not very big to click.
Yeah. So there we go. It looks like that I've messed up other things, but it's fine. I can handle that. Then we have to deselect this one and then hit relative. One also very crazy thing is that you need to hit save here if you add a class. If you just hit publish or save and then exit your Gutenberg page builder, then you're just fucked. you need to do everything that you have done in your styling again. So many times that I forgot to hit that save button.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of buttons. I mean, it's cool that there's a lot of options for things, though.
Yeah, you basically have everything in here. So there we go. And then we can change it in here. Now, I'm not doing this very efficient, but there we go. There we have our section. Now for me, these shortcuts doesn't always work, but in Gutenberg you have add after, and if you press Ctrl-Alt-Y, then it adds afterwards. Let's add a element, and then we can. It's called. There we have link tag, and that's a button, right? Yeah, and get a quote. Get a quote. I see that we have now added the different one. Let's see. Or am I mistaken? Yes, I am mistaken. So let's call this button, add it as a global one. Then we select it. Now there's also some predefined styles. I think this is coming from WordPress itself. So I made that mistake yesterday as well. We just add another class called button.
A quick comment here from Florian. He says you added a global class where you shouldn't use a global class.
Yeah, I don't really agree with that one. It is for sure that Igor also warns that you don't need to add the global classes for that. But if I'm reusing things like a hero section on every page, I just want to set one class, right? The advantage of using global classes is that you can change everything if you in one go. So if now I only have, like, for instance, a background, but if for the next version I also want to have more spacing between or a different height, that's what you actually want to set in your hero section.
Also, now I get it though. Like what he's saying is there's global classes and local classes here, and then you can have you could have used a local class which is part of the page. It doesn't get saved globally to the rest of the database.
Interesting.
I don't.
For sure.
Why?
Yeah, I don't see that.
No, I'm not saying why would you do that, but is that a normal thing, or is that like a Greenshift feature?
I'm also not a very fan of that, to be fair. But I see also Igor mentioning it a few times. And to be fair, then you can only use the classes on a one page. But if you are in a different page, then you can't use it. So then you have to either recreate it.
Yeah, I was just
And
I'm
then
not really, I don't see a
confusing.
use case for that.
Yeah.
Like if I change my mind later, then how do I get the class out of the page? I guess I could probably then convert it to a global class.
Interesting.
Let's see, right? I don't know if that's even possible. So let's create a local one. And I see that we have limit for environment. Where do you want to show this class? We have an option to highlight for specificity. And you can create selectors, auto clause, rename, copy paste.
There was classic. When you do that, when you add a little class, there's like classic, local, and global, right?
Yes.
So I'm not sure what's. Do you know what the three differences are?
Yeah, classic is, for instance, if you have a hero section, you can just create a hero section, and let's see if we can immediately create an example. We can
Let me ask
create.
a different question though. Is there a concept of IDs in here? Is that like what a classic would be, or is that just, am I, you know what I mean, like the ID, like ID in classes in regular CSS, or no?
It used to have that, but since an update recently, they only use classes now. So also, if you do a local class, so for instance, if we add, let's see, another H2 element in here, and we do the changes locally, right? It says local styles. And if we then do a change, you see that a class will be added. So there's no
Yeah.
way that you can
But
set
that was like
anything.
randomly generated, right? Like
Yep.
that's
It's
yeah.
random.
It's kind of like it's kind of like a bricks ID or just like an ID, but it's technically a class.
Yeah.
I don't know. We
Yeah.
don't need to go super deep into the CSS thing, but that's interesting how it seems like Greenshift doesn't really have, maybe there's IDs somewhere else, but it's using classes as like one-off IDs almost. In that case, it seems like they're not IDs, but they're
Yeah,
like
the
just
terminology is a
unique
little
classes. Yeah, but I'm sure there's something there. I'm sure there's a reason. We could love to hear more from Igor, but please continue, Lex. Appreciate that insight.
You're welcome. You are able to set classes, but I don't know where you can set them anymore. Let's see if I can find it. Can we also do it like this? A new class.
Yeah, it literally you
This
tried to
is
make
a-
an ID almost, and
yeah.
it just made it into a class. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well, it's got classes, so that's good, I guess. We just got to figure out how to use them fully, and all the different ways you can. Sweet.
Let's see. We can continue with this button. It's like a ghost button. So we had get a quote. Let's do a border on there, like 1 pixel solid and then white. We don't want any decorations. So these 4 are the ones that I use the most, and the rest is usually something I need to search. Where can I find certain things? Let's see. No decoration. We can also make it capitalized. Let's go. And then add some spacing in there. Now you also have the possibility to have variables. And there are 2 ways you can import variables. One is via the theme settings. So I set it up before the live stream yesterday. So that's the one thing that I did prepare. When you go to Stylebook, and you can set your Stylebook. So if you want your H1 to have a default style, you can set it up right here. If you want to use your colors and want to change your colors, you have some presets right here.
Can you show me again how you got to the style book?
Yeah, for sure. So we go to, let's see, Greenshift, and then...
Oh, and then it's just in there. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Maddie, can you take the comment off the screen?
The comment's still there?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And how do I?
I figured it would be good to take that.
Why is it still there?
Oh, maybe it's just on our end. It's weird.
Oh.
Let me see.
Oh, yeah. It's not in the live stream.
It's not
Yeah,
the
nice.
Yeah. My bad.
Yeah, it's different. It usually happens also during my live streams. Always when somebody comes to the live stream as a guest or whatsoever, then things go different than you expect them to go.
Yeah.
For the global variables, they also have the possibility to import presets. Now you have to do them one by one and ask him why that is, because you might want to do some changes or whatever. So then you can add like all these presets and you don't have to think about it. So that's really nice actually. And here you have all your classes that we also just added, right? The name hero, the A element, the button, which already exists, so we can remove it. And here's the other button. And here you can set defaults for the elements. By the way, also a very nice thing that we skipped over is when you get started with Greenshift and you have your theme just installed, you can select which blocks you want to use. And also you have theme settings, which kind of looks familiar, don't you think? Ollie theme has this as well. And this allows you to set up your branding, like your site title, description, logo, but also your homepage. And if you want to choose a different homepage, you can create one right here. And then you can select a template. You have a header, a preset header available. You have footers available. And this blue button also reflects in here. So here's the blue button. Then you can view templates. And here are some pre-made templates. And the one that gets me really excited are these ones. These ones are the very, very special ones. Ooh, a new one has been added since yesterday. And we need to scroll down. It looks like this one doesn't work right now.
Okay.
For instance, here we have a tab section with animations and everything happening. And this is all created by the Greenshift team. So, and then you can just one click and import it. So then you have it also on your website. Let's see. Let's continue our build, by the way. Sorry for the...
That is no, that's a nice segue just to talk about like onboarding for FSE, because I feel like that was better than what default FSE offers in terms of onboarding, selecting your header templates, selecting your homepage, all that stuff. So it's
Yeah.
good to see how other people approach it.
Yeah, and it really helps because setting up the FSE, trying to find everything if you're used to Customizer or Elementor,
Yeah.
it's just very different experience. And needing to find everything, it's just different. Have anchors and ideas. Yeah. Florian sending, if you need them, right bar green shift. Don't. You should have said it, I guess. We were in the padding options. So in here we have variables that we can then pick. Oh, I was hoping that only my spacing will be available here. Can we type in spacing? And there we go. There we have our spacing. Let's set a medium spacing. And add those in here and the other ones as well. Now this doesn't look quite similar right now, but yeah, this is the hero section.
Sweet.
Hit save here, and because else it doesn't work. And now it doesn't show here. What's this? $52. What? But yeah, this is how you build out the page using Greenshift.
Okay.
This doesn't work, but I don't know why.
I'm thinking perhaps it's this might be a good moment to switch to Josiah and Divi,
Yeah.
because the first section
Yeah.
did, like, because we had a lot of really interesting insights now into also how Greenshift works and what features it has. So we're already 20 minutes or something into this build.
Yep.
So then it might be a good idea to just see this come together in Divi next.
Yeah, makes sense.
Sweet.
But thanks, man. So while Josiah is building, you can figure out how to,
Yeah.
how to display the background.
I will.
Also, if you guys check out the Facebook conversation, I made a zip for you with all the brand logos from the section further down. So let's see.
Shall we swap?
We shall. Josiah, are you ready? Do you want to go?
Yeah, I'm good.
Nice. So then this
All
is this
right.
one.
Well, great job, Lex. Thanks for the introduction to Greenshift to everybody, and great work on starting out that hero section. Greenshift is a really cool tool, and I think it's going to be my default builder for working with Gutenberg. Anytime I have to do Gutenberg related stuff, I really, so far, have loved jumping into that. I just recently got it. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about Divi and building out this page with Divi. So just to give you guys a little background about Divi, it's produced by a development company called Elegant Themes. They've been around a pretty long time. I think Divi's been around maybe at somewhere between like 12 and 15
Yeah.
years.
I remember using it in 2015.
Yeah. So they're one of the oldest builders out there. And that comes with, pros and cons, just like anything. But the good things about Divi is that they have a really solid team. It's a large kind of scaled development team now that has really supported this product well over the years. and they've been able to build a really solid community around that. So the people that are engaged with Divi are producing lots of content, lots of plugins, lots of support. Elegant Themes has really gone out of their way to provide excellent support to people, and they always have, you know, backwards compatibility anytime they release any updates or anything. It seems to be very meticulous. I've almost never experienced anything breaking because of Elegant Themes releasing something. I mean, maybe a third-party Divi plugin, you know, might have some glitches, but I don't think I can ever remember a time that Elegant Themes updates have broken something related to Divi. There are issues with it, just like any other builder. We're not going to get into all those today. But yeah, it's very focused on being a visual-based builder. So everything that you do is visual settings, and this was very trend-setting at the time. They were kind of at the forefront at this, but you know, now everybody's doing this, so it's not as exciting as it once was. So this is just their homepage here for Divi. I'll just scroll down to the bottom here just so you can see their pricing. So yeah, you can get Divi. They still have a one-time lifetime payment. They have a bunch of additional SaaS-based services now that you can like pay, you know, yearly. Like you see this thing on the left. It's a yearly payment. There's a yearly payment for $212 a year, but you still get the Divi lifetime builder as a one-off. So that's the cool thing. They've had some other products that they've been able to build out, and that helps them support their main products. What else? Really strong.
I want to say hi to Dave here. Sorry for interrupting.
No worries.
Nice to have you here, man.
A really cool thing about Elegant Themes is that they are very consistent about putting out material. So they put out layout packs consistently. I think they're maybe doing one layout a week now or something. And then so it's like a total pack. A pack contains multiple layouts, but they have a massive library and it's really quick to get started and kind of use elements from different packs to get, you know, different sites going. And along with that, they are also releasing, you know, updates on a regular basis, which is great. So that transitions into Divi 5. So Elegant Themes is kind of in a transitional period right now. For those of you not aware, for the last several years, it's been a long process. They've been completely rebuilding Divi from the ground up. So they just, in a sense, scrapped everything, but there's backwards compatibility, and they started writing each line of code over and over again. And so right now we're on Divi 4, but they're about to release Divi 5. So they've been putting out public betas. And
have they come up with a release date yet?
It's still in the public alpha. So you can, people can use it, and it's production ready, but they don't have all the features in there that
Gotcha.
they're finalizing some features. But anyway, it's been a super long process, and the community's been frustrated by it. But it is a big change, and it's a good positive change. It's super fast. And then what just started happening this month is now they're going back to feature releases again. So they paused feature releases for, I think it was over a year. It might have been 2 years. So we didn't get any new feature releases in Divi. But because the new version is so close to being released, they're going back to working on feature releases, and they're going to kind of catch up with the rest of the building community that has done a really awesome stuff recently. So yeah, that's a lot about Divi. Did you guys have any questions about kind of the overall Divi stuff before I start jumping in?
Not from my side.
That was a great
Also-
intro to it. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it was a
used
great intro,
Divi
yeah.
for like 5 years before going to Bricks, and I mean that all tracks with my feelings about it too. Are you going to be using Divi 5 today?
No, I might give a teaser and install it at the end and just see like if it, you know, how it kind of interacts with the layouts we've already built and if it converts them or breaks them or whatever. But I think that would be great for an additional video or a live stream, you know, down the road.
The one thing that I remember is really cool about it is that you can change, like you can move the structure panel to the other side. You can basically resize everything and like change the orders of your actual builder layout, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, so you guys are gonna see when I'm building that, this is all very visual based. You don't have to do a lot of coding or anything, but you still get access to all these settings. And this day and age, that's not.
Uh-oh.
Is he frozen? I think he froze.
Divi got to him.
No.
That's too bad. With your screen, we can see.
He said the wrong thing.
Or maybe Greenshift got to him. Dun dun dun. That's crazy. Technical difficulties.
That's the Divi 5 alpha, says Florian.
That's what happened.
Oh, man.
Hear me now?
Oh, there we go.
He's back. He's
Oh,
back.
welcome back.
He's back.
Thanks.
Welcome back, Josiah.
Can you not see me or hear me?
Yes, we can now.
No, we
We
can
can
now.
now. Yeah, something happened there, but you're good.
I don't know, something with one of my
It was a
microphones, I
hockey
guess.
stick. Somebody said it was a hockey stick.
All right. So we're
Took
good.
him
You guys
out.
can hear and see me and see my screen?
You're good, man. Let's see
Yes.
it. We're excited.
Okay.
No?
Yes? Yeah, we can. Good.
Yeah, still
Can you not
good.
hear us? Maybe you can't hear
Hello?
us.
Can you hear us, Josiah?
Yep.
Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us.
Maybe his headphones.
Can you hear me
might
now?
just-
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
Yeah. Can we say it somewhere
Okay.
in the chat?
Maybe my external microphone's having a problem. Can you see me the whole time?
it
We
was
saw you
bad for a
frozen.
second, but you're good. We can see and hear you now.
Okay, but you can see me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So let's jump into it.
Let's do it.
You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
We're ready.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, look at that.
All
He's
right. So I have
Good boy. Nice.
Look at that.
I just built out a couple little assets in here to just get things going. So normally, if I'm going to build out a site, I want to have my reference material. I'd normally put this on another screen. I'm just going to put this here so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. And I'm going to go to the back end. So Divi has its own little theme builder. You can install Divi as a plugin, just a builder, or you can install it as a theme, which also includes the builder. So there's two different ways. I typically use the theme. And in the back end, they do have a lot of cool tools, like their own little theme builder. You can do, header, body, footer, but we're not going to be doing that at the moment.
What's the difference
Let's go to
between the
all
theme and
pages.
the plugin?
And then if I click this page, it's like the Gutenberg builder, and it says that it's currently ready to go with Divi. Do you want to use Divi? So I'm going to say yes. That takes me to the front end. I could have also accessed this from the front end. This little handy pop-up here. So if it's something that doesn't already have a design, I have to come up with the design, especially on like a more budget-friendly client. I might choose browse layout and just find something that kind of matches with the person's aesthetic and then start going from there. So I might like choose this and be like, oh, like this page, I love kind of the image layout, or I love these buttons here. So maybe I'll throw that in there and then start stealing kind of components from there and building a new design. It's a really quick way to build out pages. But today we are going to be building from scratch. So we start here with our editor, and it gives you this blue part is a section, and then the green ones are going to be rows and columns. And
So one thing I noticed when I was building with Divi is that there's sometimes cases where you have, I believe if you have an element inside a section or inside a container, then the plus button for the element will overlap the plus button for a container. Is that still happening? And like, did you find a way around that?
it can, depending on what things you have installed and whatnot, but over the years they've improved kind of the elements being able to know where they're at and all that stuff
Okay.
in the layout. So there's a lot of different views you can choose. So you can choose like this far out view, a wireframe view.
Far out is always good.
So I'm just going to work with this. There's also some settings that I could say I want, see all the elements all the time, or I have to click them. So we'll just put it on that for now.
And I believe a question we had earlier, like I might have overheard it, or the answer is like, what's the difference between the theme and the plugin?
Yeah, great question. So the plugin is the builder functionality of Divi, where you can, build all the blocks and everything.
Right.
And then the theme includes the builder plus the full site editor. So it's just a full site editor that you get to say which templates get used on which pages, and what gets used for the header, what gets used for the footer.
So I guess if you want the full Divi experience, then the theme is the way to go.
Yeah, and there are a
Otherwise,
lot
you're kind of pairing it with another theme that is only so much compatible, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, people have done that, or if they're maybe migrating over to it. So we're going to start out with the section, and just for presentation's sake, I'll just say I was making a new section here, and then I'll make a column, and then obviously we have a heading, and then a button. So I'll just throw that in here, heading, and I'm not even gonna do anything with this data yet. I'm just gonna put the elements in here. I'm going to get rid of this previous section. And sometimes, I might build out a page like this too. Like I would get started on my next section. I just kind of wireframe it all out real quick. And then I can, add another row, things like that. So now I need to start styling. So I'm going to go into my section settings. We obviously need that background image. So here, I'm going to make this a little bigger so you guys can see it. I guess I should break down kind of the editing tools that Divi has. So anytime you edit something, it pulls up this editing window, and it'll say what it is. It's a section or a row or a module. And then you get 3 tabs. So there's the content, which is generally the things that you're putting inside of it. And then the design, which is stuff like it says here, layout, sizing, dividers, animations, all that. And then the advanced tab, where you can change like its visibility, add custom CSS, set class IDs, scroll effects, stuff like that. So pretty basic, pretty self-explanatory. One of the most powerful parts of Divi is this up here, the presets. So every module, section, everything, has a default preset that Elegant Themes has assigned to it. You can override those defaults so that all new elements will inherit them, or you can create your own presets. And so this is a great way to keep styles uniform. It's kind of like a class system that you would experience in Bricks or other builders or web development terminology. Instead of using CSS and classes and code, you just tell it, hey, I want to save this as a thing I want to use other places. And then you can attribute that to other pieces of stuff. So I'm going to add my content, and the background, you get a lot of options: color, gradient, image, video, patterns, masks. And then you'll start seeing these buttons everywhere. So Divi has an AI tool that's pretty well integrated now. They also have this dynamic content tool. So this is really helpful if you're working with custom fields, custom post types, or you want to bring in elements from your website, like a logo or whatnot. So I can click on this dynamic content, and it will show me some things that I could populate in here. Like I could pull in my site logo. Mm-hmm. I think probably a lot of people are familiar with that. But there'll be dynamic content. This logo will be a lot of different places, and that's useful. So I already put my image in here. I like to use a plugin called Happy Files to keep my image library organized.
Highly recommended. It's a fantastic plugin.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I'm going to go to my original site media here that I pulled from that site. I'll just upload that. So that's ready to go. We'll have to make some design tweaks to make it the right size. I'm going to edit my heading module. So first we need to say what this is. I'm going to have AI try to write a title for me. Title. Translation company. Page title. So Divi AI has this thing where it starts recognizing what content you have on the page. And then if you just use the automatic AI, it starts to use all your site content to build whatever AI it's using, or the output stuff. All right, so it gave us a title, Global Language Solutions at Your Fingertips. We'll use that for fun. And obviously we need this to be white. So I could go directly to where the styling is by clicking this blue button here. It just goes to the design tab, heading text. So that'll be heading 1. And we need to make it white. And so there's tons of little presets and settings hidden all throughout Divi. Like you see, you start hovering over stuff. So it shows mobile breakpoints, hover effects, resetting. There's dynamic data in a lot of places. There's these global colors, all kinds of stuff. So heading size looks okay. Maybe, I want to change it to REM. So let's say like 2 REM. You just type it right in there. Move it to the center. And it needs to be a little heavier. So change it to bold. That looks pretty good. And if I needed to adjust, normally I wouldn't do my mobile breakpoints until kind of after I got the page done in desktop, and then I'd come back through. But I might click here and then say, hey, what does it look like on tablet? Well, I'd really prefer this to be a little smaller on tablet. Oh, I have the wrong mobile breakpoint here. Okay, heading text size. So I want to downscale that a little bit, so I'm going to go 1.5. And on mobile, do 1.25. I like that. Hit save, jumps back out. Now let's style the button. So same thing, I'm going to come to my design tab. Well, let's change the text first. Get a quote. Go to my design tab. I want to use custom styles for my button. We want to change it to white. Now, the default style was already pretty similar to what we're doing here on the website. So there's not a lot we'd have to change, but if we needed to change it, we would just scroll down here and there's like border width. So we could do 3 pixels if we wanted a little thicker, maybe a little bit bigger radius. And there's options for, changing the icons on hover and all that stuff. We obviously need to center that. So let's go to alignment, put it in the center. And then we're going to make that uppercase. So let's choose the button style. And the font weight is a little thicker. So I'm going to go semi-bold. Now this is where I might use a Divi preset. So I might say create a new preset from current styles. And then I would say button, you call it whatever you want. Just call it button white outline for now. Hit save. Now if I could like duplicate a button right from here, but let's say I'm on another page and I need to make that same button. Well, I can add a button. It looks like it did originally, but I can just come here and say button white outline, bam, there it is again. And any changes I make on this, you can override the styles, which is something like Elementor doesn't do. It doesn't. You can make a global widget, but then you have to like keep everything the same about that global widget everywhere, which is really annoying. So on here, you can actually override any of these styles. So I could say, oh, I want the text color to be red on this one. It doesn't affect it. But if I go into here, I can edit the style. So I'm going to click this pencil icon, and I'm going to say, oh yeah, I actually wanted that border width on all my buttons to be 2 pixels. So it updated those buttons wherever they were with that style on my website.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty close to classes.
Yeah, but no coding involved.
Right. So have they been working on cleaning up the code output in the DOM?
Yeah, it's quite a bit different. It's a lot more streamlined. It outputs. They get rid of shortcodes completely. So before it would output shortcodes.
Right.
Now
Yeah.
it's pure
I remember
HTML.
that. Nice.
So we need to work a little bit on our background image here. So we need to do a little overlay, and we need to make it bigger. So let's go to our sizing. So for something like this, I would normally make one of my heights here different. So I might use viewport height. So I maybe do like 70% viewport height, and you just type it in and it pops up right there.
Okay. So also in Divi at this point in time, you can just type whatever unit you want.
Yeah, and then it knows that you
can put
changed it
rem
to
in
that.
there.
Yep.
Nice.
So if I it knows I'm in viewport height right now. So if I type in 80, it'll keep my viewport height. Oh, maybe not for that one. Some things it does, I guess, and some it doesn't.
Okay. And now if you want to vertically center it, then it's just.
Yeah.
Then you're out of luck because there's no flex box.
So that is a one kind of harder thing about Divi is there's currently no flexbox in the system. There are some tweaks that you can, click some buttons to visually get that, but usually you just have to type in like one line of code to get some flexbox stuff. Okay. I'll show you in a second. First, we're going to
I hope they changed that.
Yeah, it's slated. Like I said, they're doing feature releases now, so that's one of the things that's been most requested.
And I think they're going to do CSS grid too. They might. It's been a while since I looked at what they were doing, but
yeah, they're going to work on accessibility. They're going to work on Flexbox. They just released more breakpoints, so you can add an infinite number of breakpoints. That was their one this week, and then they're also they're working on these preset styles where you can do preset styles for each individual element, not a whole like section or a whole module. So it's going to be pretty cool.
That is cool. Yeah, it's easy to pile on Divi because it's like people see, it's like a legacy builder, but it's like, okay, well it is because they have like 1 million websites probably that are live on it, and they do a good job at backwards compatibility. So it's not an easy task.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of technical debt that they have to deal with.
Yeah.
So I just added a gradient, and then you say place on top of the gradient. Other things I could do, like I could turn on parallax effects, all that.
Nice. Yeah.
You can say where the image is going to be.
So then, like in the absence of Flexbox, that I think the smartest, or here's how I would do it. If I wanted to have this thing vertically centered, I would not give the section. Oh, okay. Never mind.
So there's some basic
absolute.
Yeah, okay. There's some basic like little things you can do.
Right.
But
I guess I would have just used padding and just been like, yeah, it doesn't matter if it's 70 VH. I just give it, I don't know, like 25 or whatever VH padding top and bottom, and that's that.
Yeah, I mean, you can actually do Flexbox too. You just have to type in the code. So you'd come into...
Oh, yeah. So you just make it yourself. Yeah.
You come into the column here, and then in the CSS. So they have freeform CSS, which is where you have to say selector, and then you it's
Right.
anything that's inside this, and then you're targeting it. Or they have these little convenient already module CSS where you just
Before,
write the
after.
CSS.
That's cool. Yeah.
So you could type in display flex, and then you could do some stuff with that. There's a couple of people have put some tutorials. So this one's an example, really great. They walk you
Nice.
through how to do every little possible thing with Flexbox and Divi, just with 1 or 2 lines like display flex and then flex wrap and that like basic stuff. So if you need that, it's pretty easy to get a hand place to find it. And I'll save that. So in Divi, normally I'll keep one builder page open, and then I'll go to the home page or wherever I'm working on and see a live preview.
Yeah.
If I want to just make sure 100% it looks like it does, most of the time, the visual builder is pretty accurate. It's just if you have like third-party plugins, there might be some weird stuff going on. Default out of the box, there's no module with scrolling text in Divi, but there are definitely tons of them out there for people that want that. I wonder. Sometimes AI can do like pretty cool stuff. I don't think you'd have to make a code module to do that though with JavaScript.
Yeah, feel free to jump into the second section. I mean, I think we're doing quite well here. I just want to take a real quick timeout. Lex kind of dropped out of the stream for a while there because he had connection issues. But Lex, it seems like you're back. I'm seeing your screen in the lobby. Can you say something? Test.
And he's gone.
And he's gone. We're not hearing him.
That's right. You can keep going, Josiah.
All right.
Yeah, please keep going. Sorry about that.
So one of the defaults I don't like in Divi is the row sizing. This is the default here. It's 80%, and then they max it out. So some designers I work with like going full width, or some of them like capping it at like 1600 pixels, and then maybe like 90%. So a lot of times I'll just kind of change that for the whole site. So this default preset here. I can just say bam, and then it just changed my default width for everybody.
And so that'll do it globally. Like you don't have to then. So every time you put a row in now, that'll be the case.
Yeah, unless if I make a new row and I make a new preset. So okay. Yeah, I could create a new preset with a different, setting. All right, so this is very similar to what Divi has as a blurb module. I can just kind of show you guys some of the modules here. So, you could either build this out with each piece individually with the icon and then the heading and then the content, but most builders have a little thing to already do that. So just take a look at all the modules. I think there's like 40 modules or something. I have pretty much everything you need. So you got blur, buttons, code comments.
Lex,
gallery.
It seems you're back.
Yes, hello.
Oh, wonderful.
Josiah, can I ask a quick question? Did you
Lots of stuff.
is this section query looped
Throw
or no?
Blurb in here. And so the blurb you can choose.
Are you hearing Mark?
Yo.
No.
Could you hear me? No? Okay, maybe we can only
It's
hear
like
some
playing
people.
fucking whack-a-mole. Like one person comes back, the next person drops out. What the hell?
EV Mux. Inferior software.
This is what you get when you get me on the stream. I usually have that when I have other people on the
I
stream.
think Mark was asking if you're going to query loop this or if you're just doing the static.
Oh, okay. Who can Josiah hear? Let's find out. Maddie?
Josiah, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear
Nice.
Brandon? Brandon, say something.
Can you hear me, Josiah?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay,
Oh, shit.
Mark.
Okay, hey, how about me?
Maybe just turn your video off and then back on because it's frozen, I think.
Oh,
Oh, is it?
Yo, how about now? Yo. No,
Yeah,
no, no.
Maddie's video is
No,
frozen
no.
to me as well.
Super
Just like
weird.
it.
Oh, come on.
Super strange. All right.
Sorry to
Hey,
anybody
Mark,
that's been
just
commenting.
type
I
your
haven't
questions
been-
into the Facebook chat.
EVMAX sucks.
Yeah, man.
It's okay. My question was just
okay.
like, what are we query looping? You guys can translate for me. I want to see
if any
Josiah do some
important
query
comments
looping
come
stuff.
out, hopefully moderators help me. People have been paying attention.
So are you query looping anything? That's the question at the moment.
I'm not query looping anything at the moment.
Okay.
I can do that any time though, and I have a third-party plugin to do that. Do you prefer me to do like the testimonial thing now, or it's kind of like a whole section though?
That's right. You can just show this as with the blurbs and just go ahead.
All right. So the blurb,
You wanna
you can choose
Crap your style. Just keep going.
an image or an icon. So remember in that content tab in the editor, they have this thing called image or icons. You just choose icon, and let's just randomly choose one for the moment. And then on the design tab, you can say if it's on the left or the right. So pretty much gets us there. We can adjust some settings like that. These have borders, probably 1 pixel. And need rounded corners. Do you guys know at what point rounded corners becomes a circle?
50%.
I wonder if I can type 50% here.
And then you need to set an aspect ratio usually.
By
to
the
give it
way,
all
we had
the
we had an interesting comment here by Dino Dins. He says, make the row equal height in the design options, and then you can give it a line item center in the CSS, because if you use that equal height feature, then it does become flex.
Yeah, that is one built-in flex option,
Right.
which is helpful when you have multiple things next to each other. All right, so back to our icon styling. We want that hot pink. So I wonder, what color that is. Pull that out of here. And I'm going to add a new global color, since that's a pretty common color for this page. So now if I decide to change this color, it will change any place I've used this global color.
It's nice how everything is inside of the builder instead of you needing to exit to go somewhere else to edit.
Yes,
It's a really good
very
experience.
convenient. And choose our global color. And I guess I need to choose a different icon because that's not giving us the full experience here. Some padding. Do like so. I like how Divi has their linking for margins and padding that you can do at top and bottom and left and right. It's often quite convenient because you usually do those together. Maybe a little higher here, probably 7. All right, and then we want semi-bold font, and it should be uppercase. By the way, this is one of the things that drives me kind of wild, is that people will actually type in their text in uppercase on a lot of sites or like content that you get. I'm like, please do not. Please give me the text to copy and paste without it being uppercase and tell me you want it uppercase. And the body text, probably add some line spacing.
So Mark is reconnected. Say hi, Josiah, please.
Josiah, can you hear me?
Hi, Mark.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't know what happened there.
All right, so I got my blurb. Now, I'm going to be using this multiple times, so I should make a preset from this. And I'll just call it blurb, services.
And so that'll just bring in all the styles you just did. So you can just style first and then go and make your presets, basically.
Yeah, and you can always edit those. But what's really cool, so I can like duplicate this the kind of classic way, or I can make another one. There's another way to deal with this too. Divi has very good extending styles features. So I can go here and I can say extend blurb styles, and it gives me the option to do it on this page, this section, this row, or this column. So if I'm just working on this row here and a different row has other stuff I don't want to change, I can say, hey, extend this style to every blurb in this row, and then bam, it puts it right there. Now I need to change this to an icon, but so what that didn't do is it didn't update my preset. It just extended the styling. So I'm going to choose an icon. And for this, I want to use that styling that I made. So I do that, and then it changes exactly to what I update. And like I said, you can click any one of these. You can click up at your presets, and you click the pencil icon. And any change you make in here, see it graded out here. This is saying that I'm editing a preset right now. Any changes that I make, it will change all my presets. So I'm going to make this 1 REM. And then when I edit this, it says, you sure you want to do this because it's going to affect your preset? Yes. So sometimes if that doesn't apply, it's because those settings are put into like overwriting manually. So we need to reset the styles of this module. That's really easy to do. We can just go reset module styles, and now it's up to date. Or I click right here and say reset module styles, and it gets rid of all those manual styles that were transferred over. I do the same for this reset module styles. Clears out any manual overwriting styles. So I could just duplicate this whole row, since I'm doing the same thing, and then I could come in here and start doing my copy, which I don't really need to waste your guys' time with. I can do that while Lex is working on something later.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, or if I'm working with a client site and they don't have copy, I could be like, hey, write it for me. Well, let's do this a real quick test here. So edit this. And let's say I'm doing this legal translations. So I'll give it a title. And then I'm going to have AI try to write it automatically for me. Uses text. So at Bridge Builders Divi, we understand that legal translations require precision, cultural awareness, and unwavering commitment to accuracy. So you could give your clients a decent copy instead of just throwing Lorem Ipsum in there.
And so that's just using the site title, which is why it's like Bridge Builders Divi.
Yep. Yeah, because that's the site title. So that's more or less what you would do. Pretty quick.
That is cool. You breathed through that. It's very nice.
Yeah, that's one of the strengths of Divi is it's so easy to work with. Unless you're doing really advanced stuff, you don't have to jump into code if you don't want to.
Yeah.
You can clone stuff. You can connect things together.
Do you still find yourself writing CSS sometimes? Or?
Yeah, because I get the designers and people that want like strange, complicated designs that I gotta do all kinds of weird things with, or like pixel perfect.
Nice. So there's a question coming in. We're still waiting, Florian. We're waiting for your question. No pressure. I'm just gonna sit here and stare at the chat. But meanwhile, okay. So with Divi, can you simplify the backend for the client? Is there something comparable with GreenShift? That's a good question.
Great question. Yes, you can. So Divi has a comprehensive set of role editing. So you can set what things people get access to. And it's like anything, you know, that takes some effort to lock all that down. But if you have a client that, you know, you really wants to be editing in there, or you have a larger website with lots of roles, you can come in here and kind of set what they get access to. So you see they have split testing, page options, portability, and then like builder interface, library settings. Just you can, I mean, you guys can see all these options here that they have for user roles.
And then it looks like you can put a whole lot in there.
Mm-hmm. So you can lock it down pretty good. Like you can say that, you know, people can only have access to certain modules, that they only have access to certain settings in the modules, lots of stuff. Oh, I cannot hear you guys. 1 second.
Right.
Sweet.
Okay.
Sweet.
Wonderful, wonderful. Back to Lex.
All right, I can hear you.
Sweet.
Thanks for
Lex,
that, Josiah. That was cool.
Yep.
Lex, we see you speaking, but we don't hear you.
Again.
Yeah,
No, we
good.
hear you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now it's fine.
Yeah, it was very awesome to see, Josiah. I just like how clean the builder itself is, on how you can create and build those things. I mean, look at the UI. It's so clean. It's so minimal. It's really refreshing if you're used to something like Bricks Builder or Gutenberg or even Elementor, right?
Yep.
Sweet. Awesome.
Okay. So are we going
AI.
back to Lex now, or?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Let's go back to Lex.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Josiah. This is really cool. Yeah, I learned a bunch of things about Divi that, you know, from the times I used Divi. I always worked on websites that somebody else had built, and I was kind of frustrated because I was kind of stumbling around in it and not finding some of the options that you just showed that would have made my life easier. But also, it like for me, it felt incredibly clunky and very slow. But I think they just had shitty hosting, because like the way you're using it right now, it seems really snappy and responsive.
Yeah, there's definitely some server side things too that, you know, good to do some little performance tweaks on any WordPress website to make sure that you're optimized in the right way.
Yeah. So we're back to Lex.
Hello. Yes, I'm
Hello,
looking
hello.
also to build those other elements as well. And if you haven't subscribed to Maddie for the page building shenanigans they are doing,
Like
please
and
do so.
subscribe.
Yes.
That's right.
To bridge builders. Or actually, it's Maddie, right? Mr. Maddie.
Mr. Maddie.
Mr. Maddie.
So Tudor is asking, where did I get the hat? This one's from Amazon, actually. So yeah, I've got 4 other ones at the moment. My oldest one is from 2003. I bought it at a shopping center.
It's got a whole history of hats.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You flew all the way to Amazon to get it.
Right?
This guy's dedicated to the
machete.
hat game.
Just hack my way through the Amazon to get it.
Sweet.
So what I'm doing right now is building out a grid template. Now, I'm a little bit used to creating those kind of things. So we can create a side-by-side grid, as you can see, and then we can use just one element to create everything, which saves a lot of extra containers that are not needed actually, especially nowadays with the grid system. So we can set this for the amount of rows that we need, and this one is set for the amount of columns that we need. And we can go into our, so there's a distinction, as you can see in the left hand side as well, that there's a black grayish kind of element and blue elements. And then, you know, this is a green light element, and this is a green shift element. And green light elements just have a little bit of easier things you can have, like the grid builder that I showed earlier. And for instance, this icon block, we can do it also with images or whatsoever, but this just makes it a tiny bit easier, if you ask me. We can just change the width, remove this one. There used to be a color picker right here that you can also pick the colors from the website if you would like to. Don't see it right now, so we're going to steal that one from here. We have a nice icon, and there we have our nice hot pink color. Let's see, go back in here and select the icon, go into our colors. Now, unlike in Divi, you can set global ones, you can only set global ones in a specific location. So we need to set it up right here. And you can also use the variables there if you would like to, but I usually don't use that for the color palette. Let's see, and then we scroll down. Then we need to add a border, and yeah, I think it's quite similar to also what we just saw from Josiah, right? You can easily build it without needing to understand how to code everything, and just paste and copy things in. I do like how the things were done in the Divi, that you just can create all the global stuff as well in here. Is this also possible for your variables or for your for these kind of things that you said, Josiah? Like radius or spacing and that sort of things?
They're getting ready to release that where each little section can have its own preset now.
That's awesome. That's just amazing. I might have a look at Divi as well at one point. Let's see. Here we have set it to grid. This one now comes in a little bit of custom CSS that we can set, so we can add a placeholder, and then in here we can say that it needs to what's called grid template row, if I remember correctly, and then you can set to one span. And if you don't know it by heart, there's always a way to get to this website, csstricks.com. If you don't know it by any chance, then please give it a look, because they have a lot of nice articles explaining how everything works. And always use this as a backup if I don't remember how a specific thing works.
I think we all gave up on memorizing all this stuff forever ago.
Are you telling me I shouldn't be using AI for all this? Oops.
Yeah, AI would be better, but I'm 37, so I guess I'm a bit of an old school guy, right?
It's better to learn.
Let's see, we can do spans in here if I remember correctly. Let's see, let's search for span. Span, come on, typing is such a difficult thing, right? You need to set grid row and then a span. So let's do that here as well. Grid row and then span 1, 2. It doesn't do anything, so it could also be me. Ah, there we go. So it should be a column. And then span 1, 2. There we go. Now we get a little bit similar to this, but I think the alignment isn't good enough, so we need to change that. It should be right here. And as we can see, that's not the case. So the letters are very big, so we can change that up really quickly by setting a size. And let's use our variables for that one. I think this is something like small. Yeah, of course, this is a zoomed out image. Maybe just a tiny bit bigger. Let's go for regular. And this one, it is only for the icon, so it's not for the box that we set the changes right here. So let's have a look where we can set it for the box itself. We have block spacing. I don't know if there's anything set right now. Yes, it is. And if you're not happy with the changes you've made, you can always press the reset spacing button. This is a really nice thing, as I'm using that quite often, as you might imagine. Let's go for 1em. And we can also do all the changes by linking them. 0.5, and there we have everything. Now, I can't find why this is so big. This has probably to do with our grid container that we have set right here. So instead of 1FR, we can set it to min content. So it will be the size, the minimum size of the content. As you can see, it's smaller. But then we need to change the icon box also in the alignment. And we don't have access to it by default, so we need to align self. And then something like center or flex center. And this is also something that we can most definitely find here.
I don't know if this is what you're running into, but I remember using Greenshift and putting heading elements in, and there's like top and bottom margin by default, and like I don't remember if it didn't show up in the builder or something.
Yeah, I had that with the H1 section. I just
Okay.
adjusted it a little bit, and there was a default spacing going on. So I needed to remove it in the margin right here. But I don't know if it's WordPress default or it is Greenshift default. So
Yeah, I think Bricks maybe does the same thing. If you put like two text elements together, it puts like an auto margin or something.
yeah, just to make it look a little bit nicer, I guess. Then we can easily duplicate this one. Oh. But then we need to recreate our grid builder because they are now stacked. And now they are side by side. Now I do have a little bit of difficulty of getting everything aligned nicely, like we see here in the image. So perhaps the grid builder wasn't the easiest way of doing this. I guess this also comes a little bit with experience, right? So we can also redo it just using the section, simple section, and then add a div element, and in the div element we'll add 2 columns in there, so that would be 2 divs. I really dislike doing that actually, but maybe that's easier. Because in the grid system you can solve it, but I don't know why this is not aligned right now. I'm worried that this has an extra wrapper around it, so it doesn't allow you to justify everything. And so let's see if we go inside over here. Do we need to align it? Oh, there we go. Just a little bit patience would help a lot, I guess. Let's remove those two. And instead of setting auto on this one, we can also set this to minimum content and then 1FR. Or maybe, yes, I think this is good enough. We can also split this to make it a little bit easier to see. The columns, 1FR, 1FR. And this is also 1FR, 1FR. 1FR means one fraction of the spacing. And as we can see, min content. It's a little bit more writing than what you saw in Divi, by the way. And in grid, we can then set our gaps just to be a little bit bigger on there. Something like 10. Now I just noticed that these are two columns actually. they're side by side. So we need to make those changes not on this one to be a grid column of 2, but we need this one to be different, and that's something that we need to set in our responsive. Align flex center, and then grid column span is 2. Or did I write it wrong again? Yeah, this is just a way long time ago for me.
This goes to show the eternal battle between can I quickly click this together, or do I have to build it from scratch? And
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
the drawbacks and advantages of either way of doing it? And as we're just talking about in the chat, Florian says it's nice to see how much longer it takes in Greenshift and how much better the code becomes. This is a daily argument between my wife Divi and me. And Brennan says using pre-built elements speeds it up. Sure, but then if you need to make a change to the structure, you're shit out of luck unless you've built the thing with independence elements. So
I also
that's the
challenged
thing, like,
myself to do it a little bit nicely. So that's also a very big difference, right? Because I dislike to add a lot of elements in there, but there's also a way of doing that. Because if you just want to follow along with how this is built up, you see that there's actually 2 columns, right? And in the second column, we can add after we can add a heading like an h3 slash h3. So for me, it's more about me, I guess, because I'm still getting a little bit more of experience in doing this. As I said, I'm now a hobbyist.
yeah.
And,
I
getting
was gonna
more professional. You're doing this then daily, so that's a big difference, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. It takes a while until any builder becomes muscle memory, and
Yeah.
I know that, like, from my own experience, I just recently kind of reached a point with bricks using advanced schema and ACSS where it's starting to become muscle memory, and I'm breezing through building these pages. But the last 2.5 years, give or take, yeah, kind of getting to grips with bricks and building the first couple dozen websites with it. It took more time than it would have taken me with like Beaver Builder. But now it's just so much fun to just slam these out, because all of the basic stuff like grid and flex and whatnot, building these layouts is so accessible for me and so intuitive.
Yeah.
So I think you reach a point where you can build really scalable and maintainable websites fast. Just
I also believe that as well. I think the knowledge is is fading a little bit away for me how you set up and use the grid things. And this is making it more beautiful, but as you can see here, this is quite easily done. But I don't like it because you add extra elements that actually are not needed. So I always try to challenge myself in that sort of way. So how much can you remove, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking in terms of what we do next. Like, without, I don't want to cut you short yet. But I think with, like, we're now 1 hour and 45 minutes in. We definitely still want to see you guys build a testimonial grid. So perhaps perhaps you can tinker for another 5 minutes or so, and then we go back to Josiah.
Yes, sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Let's see. We can set a hot pink again that I lost. Let's see. Come on, you can do this. 5 minutes. You have to finish this. No pressure, by the way.
Florian has a comment here. You can check it out.
I didn't see the grid box with icons. Yeah, there's also a way without custom CSS. Yeah. Box. Icon box. Is it this one? I think I've already using that. The info box, right? Icon list. No, I can't find it right now. Let's go to Josiah because that's better, I guess. Let's see how he creates the grid.
Yeah, anytime.
All right, cool. Thank you very much. And let's see, what do I need to bring in? This and...
All right, so we're going to look at the testimonials.
There we go.
So I created a custom post type for testimonials, and I just preloaded in some content here. I don't need this many, but did it because it was easy. So I just put in a little profile graphic, their name, and like whatever their ChatGPT review was.
Is that ACF?
Yeah, it's ACF. So I have a post type for testimonials,
Right.
and then I have a field group that gives me some extra fields, which I may or may not use, but you might have like the person's position or what company they're from, like if you were doing like team profiles or something. As a side note, a really handy thing to use ACF for is to create an options page. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with option pages, but it's basically like a place you can store information. And so a lot of times I'll do a global settings page like this, and then I put fields in here that can be used globally, so the client can update like their phone number across every page, or primary email or social media links, things like that. Sometimes you can also like pull in, you can use like PHP to show the site logo and favicon and stuff like that.
Another thing I noticed...
just to stop here, because that's great and that's super smart. If you are not using this in your reviewer, you start using global option pages. In Metabox, they're called settings pages. These things will save you a ton of headaches later down the road.
100%.
I also found out that so if you discover how useful options pages are, and then tell Mark and Brendan about that, they will make fun of you. That's one thing I noticed.
We may or may not have done that. It's no comment.
So a little plug for myself. I have a Divi plugin that I actually collaborated with a guy in Australia, Divi Booster. It's called Divi Dynamic Content Extended. And basically, Divi out of the box currently does not have the option to access fields from ACF options pages or metabox or pods, whatever system you use. So we made this plugin together, and it lets you use that dynamic field to access those.
Well, you got a new customer in me. I'm gonna go put that on all my old Divi sites.
And
So
sorry, and you're using Divi Machine. Like, what exactly does Divi Machine bring to the table?
great
Create
question.
dynamic content with Divi. Okay.
Yeah, so Divi Machine is kind of what, there's different plugins that enable like looping and loop templates and all that stuff. Because Divi doesn't have that out of the box, we'll see how quickly that gets implemented in version 5 as they keep building out features. So Divi Machine is one of the oldest and reliable ones. They're out of the UK. They got a whole team of support. They're super awesome. Pete, has partnered with this live stream and gave everybody a code for their stuff. So I can show you their website right now. Divi Engine for like 10 seconds. They got a lot of cool plugins. They're all, they got lifetime deal. So you can hit pricing, and they got lifetime deal and get the whole package. So they have this membership, body commerce, which is like WooCommerce related stuff. Divi Machine, which is what lets you do a lot of ACF, looping things, mega menu, protecting stuff with passwords, mobile options, Ajax filtering, form stuff, stuff with accounts on the back end, and some speed optimization related things. So great plugin. So let's jump into it. All right. So like I said, it's a third-party thing to get this working with Divi and a loop. Now you could use something like WP Grid Builder and just build out a grid and throw it in there with a shortcode. Or you could do something a little bit more native that gives you those same Divi styling options. So that's what we're going to do with Divi Machine. So the first thing I need to do is build a layout. So Divi has a library where you can create layouts that you can use later on. So I'm going to go to library. It's just like any other builder, like Elementor has their template library. When you add a layout, you can choose what type of layout it is. It doesn't super matter. You can't change this later. So you'd have to like copy those elements into a different layout if you started small and then wanted to scale it up. So I'm going to use a section so that way I have some flexibility to add some column rows and columns in there. And I'm going to call this loop template testimonials loop. And you can also save items as global items in Divi. If you saw that checkbox where you can use that same element all over the site like a form, and then anytime you make changes or the social media icons, it will actually be active other places. All right, so I'm going to make, this is kind of like the cards that are going to be on my grid after I do a query loop. So I need to make the individual card here. So I'm going to do, let's do like a 2-column with like a 30% on one side and 70 on the other. So on the left side, I'm going to have the image of the person that's leaving the review, the testimonial. On the right side, I'll have their name and the review. So Divi Machine, when you install that as a plugin, it gives you a whole nother set of modules here. You can use some of the built-in ones inside of these loops, but for more compatibility, especially with ACF, you want to use the actual Divi Machine modules because things can get a little wonky inside of loops trying to pull all this dynamic data. So I go into here and you can see I have all these new modules from Divi Machine. So we just talked about that we need the image. So that's going to be the thumbnail. And we want the title, so the post title. And we don't want it to be an H1 tag, we want it to be an H3. And then we want the post content. And I could search for these too. Content. Okay, and this I could either choose if it's the excerpt or content or other options. and I can say a word count to limit it. Now, because this isn't baked in, there's a couple things we got to do here to make sure we're able to see this. So first, Divi Engine gives us this, what are we seeing in this visual builder? Well, we want to see testimonials, similar to Elementor. Hit update. It's going to refresh this page. And then when I click my visual building option here, it'll pull in a little preview. So this is very big. This is not going to be that big when we do a loop. This is kind of one of the downsides of doing it this way. Let's click on our image. Just take a look here. So image style. I don't want it to have like this hover effect. So I'm going to do image only, no overlay. Okay, that's good for now. We got the name. Let's check how big this is. Let's go to my title text. And that's pretty big. I'm just going to make this like 1.5 rem. And I want that to be semi-bold. It's got this big padding down there. I'm going to go to spacing. And is that margin or padding? Oh, some margin. So I'm just going to do 1 EM. A little cleaner. All right, I'm going to save that just so we can get started. And I'm going to come back to my home page. I'm still in the Divi Builder, but in order to see that template that I just created, I'm going to need to reload the page. So I'm going to refresh. I'm going to create a new section, the standard row, and we need the query loop now. So there's different options that we get in Divi Machine. We can have like a slider, we could have a carousel, we could have a grid. So I want to go with a carousel. I think that's kind of fun. And I want it to show testimonials. And what layout do I want it to have? Well, it's pulling in that layout from my Divi layouts. Oh, this is for no posts. No layout. For posts, I want it to show that layout. So right away we start seeing some stuff here, which is great. I have no idea why it's showing that. Could be one of those weird looping glitches that is going to show on the back end. Anyway, before I see what this looks like on the front end, I want to just take a look at some loop options here. So it's going to show 10 posts. I could, like Divi Machine has gone out of their way to include like all kinds of options to show different things or not show different things.
Okay, so that's like related, like the testimonial taxonomies rather. Those are like related posts, basically. Show posts of current taxonomy.
Yeah, so if this was on a category page, then you could automatically have it show other posts in that category.
Gotcha.
Or you could query out like different categories or tags or taxonomies that are created. All kinds of stuff. And you can do sorting. But what I want is my carousel settings. I don't want to show 5 at a time. I want to show 3 in desktop, 2 in portrait, and 2 in mobile. Put some dot navigation on there. What does center mode do? Enable this if you want center mode. Thank you. I don't know what that means. I like infinite scrolling. Okay, so let's save that. And then we have, well, on another tab, I'm going to go to my home page. So there it is. Super basic setup. Now I can go back into that template and style that, how I want, where, all the images will be the same size. I can put constraints on that. I can make sure that the image is cropped into a circle or stuff like that.
So you have to go back to the magic area to do a little styling.
Yes. So back to this page to style that. So pretty powerful. Where this becomes even more powerful is, doing stuff with WooCommerce. There's usually you have to make like product loops, all kinds of custom post type related stuff, galleries, portfolios, all kinds of things. And then I think, okay, so right now, if I click this, it goes into that page. I'm just going to take like 2 minutes, if that's all right, and show you the theme builder for building out the template.
Yes,
Is that fine?
please. Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to my dashboard, go to Divi, theme builder, and I want to make a new template. And I want it for all, so it's super visual, super easy to find stuff. So you can see you have pages, posts, archive pages, and then it shows all my post types here too. So I want to say all my testimonial pages. And then you can also say like exclude certain items. You could hover over this and say like specific ones. So you could layer these templates. It's really super easy to create custom layouts for different scenarios. It's great. I'm going to say I want a custom body. And I'm actually in the middle of this. I just decided that I want to load a library layout. So I'm going to click on this. This would be interesting. Let's build it with AI. I really haven't used this build your page with AI tool. This one's pretty new. This is a testimonial single page. Shows the photo, name, and testimonial. Our website is translation services. And we could customize some things, but let's see what happens. So normally I might just use one of the Elegant Themes templates and pull a couple of items from one template, like the hero banner, and then like some buttons from another template, kind of mishmash them together, and then adjust some of the styling on them and build my own style. Whoa, gave us a big thing here. Let's run with it. So I'm going to go in here, background image. We need this to be dynamic content, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to say featured image. So it's going to pull that guy's picture into there. And the post title should be their name. So I'm going to go to content, show title. Okay, it's already set for post title, yeah. We don't need to show any of this stuff. I'm going to get rid of that. Showing the title again, we get rid of that. We don't need the picture. We don't need this. And it's going to show the content. Great. And it's showing some blog posts. We don't need the comment section. So I'm going to hit save. And close out of that and make sure this is saved. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the home page. Refresh our home page. Now, if I click on one of these, theoretically it should go to one of those page designs we just did. There you go. Template obviously does not work for this, but I just kind of want to show you how quick you can build out stuff in here.
Yeah, and it had stuff like the post title that it correctly added for you, so you didn't have to go connect that up. And
Yep.
yeah,
And it would have been just one click anyway. I mean, you can use that dynamic content. Yeah, so I'll let you get back over to Lex now, unless you guys have questions. Somebody.
No questions. I thought this was really interesting to see how this is done in Divi. I like, for instance, I wouldn't be able to tell you at all how would be done in Beaver Builder. I mean, I guess I'm kind of spoiled by bricks at this point because it's just integrated and there's no magic areas that I need to use.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I like how the whole design philosophy or the workflow philosophy of that of that Divi plugin, Divi machine, kind of mirrors the whole philosophy of Divi as a builder. That you have your pre-made carousel that you can use to then pull these templates into.
Yeah, it's kind of the
I think
philosophy behind Divi is to use that same building experience with those same
exactly,
tools
yeah.
everywhere, and it's very extensible. And I think a lot of these features will eventually be coming to Divi in version 5.0.
Nice. All right. So let's let's take another 15-20 minutes, and then I think the rest of what we had planned isn't happening, which is fine. I think we got a lot of value out of this. First of all, we still have steady viewership. I mean, I think at the top we had 19 people. Now we have 13, which is great. So thank you very much, everybody, for being along for this stream. It's really cool. Also for the good conversations in the chat. And I am now looking forward to seeing the same thing in Greenshift. And after that, I'm gonna crash.
For me as well. It's 10 p.m., right?
Right? Yeah, exactly. So Lex,
Yeah.
take it away.
All right.
Okay, remove this from scene, add to the scene. Yo, how's it going?
Yo, what's up? So while Josiah was explaining how he built this, I just recreated it as well using the Flexbox kind of thing instead of doing it the grid way. It's way easier to do it that way. But we're here now for testimonials. I'm using ACPT. Let's do it like this. Copy this in. Come on. Yeah. And go to ACPT. I've added my testimonials in here with some simple customizations. If we press the wrong one. I just used the title editor, thumbnail, and excerpt. Nothing that really special. I changed the featured image to be set as avatar image, and for our field groups, I've only added one because most of the things are already in there. So rating I've added, and in here you see some familiar names. Then have the name as the title, the rating in here as a testimonial option. And here we have Maddie with an excerpt for the text. I try to use as much as possible what's already available, if possible, without making changes.
Nice.
Nice. So now we go into the query loop kind of thing. We search for query, and there we have two things, right? You have the slider and you have the builder itself. And when we drag over the builder, we now have a nice way of adding them. On the right-hand side for the data query, you need to select a custom post type because it is a different kind of post type that we are now looping over. We want to loop over our testimonial. And as you can see, there are our testimonials already. But it would be nice to make a different changes, right? Because we don't have any categories that we want to use. So we can remove that one real quick. I guess I've pressed the button and it navigated away. Never happened before. So we can just remove the other ones that we don't need. And then we want to add a rating in there. So add after. Then we type in, for instance, your P element. And here you can enable dynamic text value. So you can select what kind of value you want to show. And in this case, it will be a post data, if I remember correctly, or it is a custom field. Now there's a lot of options. We want to select the current and testimonial, and then for our fields we select our rating. And now we have our rating in there. I don't know quickly how to do this with a rating itself. I don't know if Greenshift has the block available. We do have a progress bar. We can see if we can add that in real quick. We can add dynamic values, testimonial, and then select our rating. 5 out of 5. Or maybe we should do 10, because else we don't see the difference. And when we're done, we see that we have actually our query loop already there. It's so easy to add it in. And if you then want to make changes, you can do that right here. You can also make a completely different one. So, for instance, if we don't want to remove this one, I thought I removed it, right? Now we've exited the grid builder. Let me reselect it again. And afterwards, div element. And if we want to have an image, we can select our image element. Then on the right hand side, you have all the very easy to remember and easy to see dynamic data options. So we can use the custom field dynamic data. Then we need to select a source, and the source is testimonial. And here we can have our thumbnail ID. Now, to be fair, I've never used the images, so I'm experiencing as you are experiencing this as well. I would expect this then to show up. I do remember in the past it was said that only the advanced image is supporting of the real dynamic data. So this could also be that it is just the link. So only the link is the dynamic data in this case. Because if we check it here, we can select the featured image of the post type. And let's just see if I just selected the wrong one. If we select it here and then select, please let me know if you see featured image, but I don't think so, right? Post, slug, comment, no, nothing. So I'm guessing this is only for linking. And here you can select the image directly. So the Greenshift Lite doesn't have that. Then we can build out the rest, for instance, heading element. And here we have our dynamic data again. It's such a breeze to get through, to be honest. Testimonial, title. There we have Josiah. And here we have the P element of data, current, testimonial. No, it's a custom field, I'm sorry. Rating, so there it is again, as we saw earlier. Maybe we can change the loop a little bit. Having two div elements in there. And as you can see, it's all in Gutenberg, so you can easily drag and drop how this looks. One thing to notice is that by default, your query loop builder also has some settings, and it also has some settings on how the card itself will look. In this case, the border is already set, and as you can see, that's now removed. We can not undo that. But now you see a very good example that there's a border and that's set on the query loop. So there's already a container for the query loop itself. As you can see, there's everything. Now I am wondering what's happening right here. Yeah, it's showing the right images right here. So I don't know why it doesn't show up in here. Sometimes you just need to refresh. Still not the case. But you get the idea, I hope. Let's see. Let's reset the border and make this just a little bit beautiful. So align it to the left. This one has some default styling that we don't like. For instance, the margin on the top and bottom. And for the P element, the same thing. Top and bottom. So let's remove those. Add just a tiny bit of a background color. That's on the image, so that doesn't make any sense. I just remembered that I forgot to add the post data excerpt. And because of hierarchy, I think this can be a little bit tinier, 0.8, because the comments that you guys are saying about this is more important, right? Let's add the medium. We can also connect them all. That makes our lives just a little bit easier when we're just designing a nice little card with a little bit of spacing as well. And as some of you might know, when this is not showing, we can set an overflow for that, because now the card itself is rounded, but the image isn't, and we need to set an overflow. And that's something that I really like about Bricks Builder, to be fair, that you can search your options, because now I need to search and need to go in every tab to just see where I can set the option. I know what to set, but I don't know where to set it, right?
Maybe layout or
It says,
Yeah, they need a search for that.
yeah, most definitely. Or we can do it just the old-fashioned way, right? Display. There was a new one, if I remember correctly. Display clip or something.
The plugin opportunity, build a search plugin.
Yeah. Oh, it's visibility. Let's see, hidden. Overflow.
oh, yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna hide.
My brain is really fried.
That's okay. It's Friday.
Yeah. Overflow clip. That's what I was searching for. And look at that.
That's looking great.
Well, it's not the best, but it's something, right? That's one thing I want to work on, design skills. But yeah, there we go. Let's put them like this in the center, and then done. It really messes up today. And also here the circles. But as you can see, there's our loop grid. I still really want to fine tune it, but I can also see that it's enough time for today. Also for our dearest Matt, right? Maddie.
Maddie's asleep. He was sleeping
Yeah,
with his
I
eyes
fell
open.
asleep. That's it. I've already fallen over.
Look, he's asleep. He's asleep.
It's asleep.
Sausage McMuffin. Movie? Anyone? Oh my god. Big Daddy. Oh my god, that was hilarious.
You
All
mix
right,
your plans
these European boys need to go to sleep. Should we wrap this up?
I think so. Yeah, I'm.
This has been great.
I'm honestly losing concentration. It really is. It really is that simple. I'm
What
not
have
even
we?
gonna
What have
deny
we?
it.
Maybe let's do like a 5-minute wrap up. What have we learned between Greenshift and Divi today? How are we feeling? What are we? The boys did a great job. Everybody in the chat, give a round of applause for
Yeah,
Josiah and
yeah,
Lex,
definitely.
please.
Yeah, good job, guys. It's not
Hell
easy
yeah.
to do this in front of people.
Absolutely not. You guys
Well
did a
done.
marvelous job. Thank you both for coming on.
Florian has one more question. Do we have a Happy Files affiliate link? Unfortunately, no.
Thomas does not believe in affiliate links for any of
Nope.
his products.
But it's absolutely worth buying. I think it's like $60 or something. It's really worth the investment.
100%. Would highly recommend. Sweet. Do we want to do a quick go round, Maddie? You want to pop us back on the screen here?
Yes. If I find the buttons.
Yeah. If your hand isn't asleep, just like dozing off there. I'm just kidding.
So there we go. Gentlemen.
So what have we learned?
What have we learned?
Yeah, I mean, is there anything that Josiah you saw in Greenshift that you were like, oh man, I wish Divi had this, or Lex, same question to you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why I just recently bought Greenshift because there's stuff in there, especially when I'm working in Gutenberg. You know, there's not a lot of native Gutenberg editors. I'm not a fan of Gutenberg. I understand the principle behind it, and I know it has a place. But if there can be more tools like Greenshift that help bridge that gap for people and give you the options that you need by being able to click a button rather than coding it, that's going to help a lot more people get in there and build awesome WordPress sites.
Yeah, for sure. And I saw a lot of things with Divi that was very surprising and looks very easy to do.
Yeah.
Having that kind of feeling and how you approach it, it would be amazing if you'd have that similar experience in Gutenberg as well. As you can see, with the lack of a little bit of experience on doing this daily, it takes a little bit longer to also have the thought process. How could I solve this problem? If I would do it by code, it would be very fast and easy because you can directly do it like that. But I do think it was a very nice experience to see both builders and seeing the pros and cons of both of them. So a very nice presentation for that. I think
Indeed.
for Divi, the designing was easier, but the query loop was, for me, felt more coherent within Greenshift using Gutenberg.
Yeah,
I kind of
definitely.
had the same experience, or like I had the same impression that like with Divi you can very quickly click something together, but your you're gonna run into problems when you really need to customize it individually, like because it's walled garden elements, or oftentimes it is, and then you find yourself rebuilding stuff that because the client wants a button in it and you couldn't put it in there. That's still kind of the one thing that I find tricky about Divi type builders, but I do think from what I've seen now from the UI and UX, it is really intuitive and user friendly. So that's a big plus, I think.
Totally. Sweet.
Oh yeah, and Florian pointed out, well, there's tons more features in Greenshift, but also he says there's an AI code helper in Greenshift. It makes shortcodes and plays as a Gutenberg block. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, the AI co-builder, that's a whole thing on its own again.
That's okay. We can take another hour.
You guys would literally be asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eyes closed. That'd be
Yeah.
funny.
but yeah, that's something you can explore and maybe yourself as well.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, make sure you guys
with,
if you're go ahead.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, if you guys are interested in any of that stuff, make sure you check in the links in the description if you
Oh, yeah,
you
exactly.
you
I
want to
was
check
gonna say
out
that.
Greenshift or Divi Machine, all that jazz. Yeah, take a look at it. Use the coupon codes, save yourself some money. So just something available for you guys.
Thank you so much for coming, everybody.
Yep.
Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, real
thanks for
quick
having
too.
us. Awesome.
Real quick, Lex, and then Josiah. Where can people find you if they want to follow along and continue to see everything you're doing and all that?
If you want to follow me along, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, X, and also LinkedIn at Taggy's Reviews, or search for my name, Lex van Dommelen. It's a Dutch name, so I guess Taggy's Reviews is a little bit easier for you to find. And if you want to really follow along with my web creation shenanigans, for the next live stream I'm doing this Tuesday, I will be exploring Drupal CMS with all the uncertainties in the future. So
Look at that. Exciting.
Nice.
Nice. Josiah?
Yeah, you can check out my agency website, greenchoddigital.com, or you can go to my personal website, josiahhostetter.com, or find me on LinkedIn. My name is pretty unique. There's only a handful of me out there with my name, so just Google me and you'll find me. I'm available on all platforms.
Sweet. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for coming along. Maybe go Brendan. Where can people find you, brother?
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, Brendan O'Connell on some of the socials. I'm not the artist, but I do web stuff, so you can find me. I don't know.
Not the artist. There's a Brendan O'Connell artist. I've seen that multiple times when I Google you, Brendan.
Yeah.
Mark Szymanski, mjs.by. You can find all my links there, YouTube, X, all that sort of stuff. Thank you guys for being here. Maddie.
brandartery.com. I'm on Facebook, Matt Eastwood, and I'm on YouTube. I think you might have found that out yourself.
Sweet.
All right, folks, we're out. Have a good night. Talk to you soon.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. See you next one.
yeah.